Hello and welcome again to Favorite Things. Okay, the time has come. The long-awaited 36mm Hamillton Khaki 250 I pre-ordered has arrived. I'm excited to compare it to my trusty Militado ML07, which I really like. The sweeping seconds hand from the Quartz VH31 movement really make for a convincing show. I've got it on this newer Boulong & Sons caramel brown vintage style strap, which makes a perfect color match to the loom plots. I also have my original Hamillton GGW113 from 1972, as well as my 1967 Benrus DTU for comparison. The only thing missing is an original 1970 Hamilton FAPD 5101 Navigator watch that this Hamilton 250 is a reissue of. The originals are on the pricey side, and although they are pretty rare, they've been popping up on eBay recently. I've never handled an original, but I learned a lot about it from this excellent video from Quartz Crisis. One major issue with the original is that it has 17mm lugs with fixed bars. That really limits the straps you can use. I'm really glad this Hamilton reissue has 18mm lugs, although 20 would also have worked. Also, the original FAPD dial is laid out kind of funny. It's printed such that there's a good amount of space between the bottom of the markers and the edge of the dial. An unnecessary dead zone. Looking at the Militado, as well as these 34mm field military issued originals, that is not the case on these. There is just a sliver of black between the markers and the edge of the dial. Okay, before we open this up and look at the Khaki 250, I gotta tell you, I'm really curious about a few of the details of this new Hamilton FAPD 5101 reissue. The first one is about the crystal. Not that it's acrylic, but how it's designed and fits with the dial and rehaut. In the photos, it looks like the dial opening is relatively small and that there's a lot of refraction lines. I had this complaint with the Laurier Falcon as well as my Omega Railmaster trilogy. I mean, look at how masterful the Militado is. There's very little edge lines, and it makes the dial look wide, and so it wears larger than a 36mm case. Also, look at the original Hamilton GGW113. Very clean, mostly dial. The Benrus DTU is even better, maximum dial. And of course, the best is the Militado ML07B. This is all dial. Practically no edge lines with that low-domed sapphire crystal. I did some measuring and ratio calculations with the 34mm originals, which I'm not going to bore you with on camera, but ideally, for the Hamilton 250 to be proportional to the original 34mm field watches, the crystal diameter would be 30.8mm. Incidentally, the Militado is 31.2. The lug-to-lug would ideally be 44mm and not the 43mm that would make it proportional. But both the Militado and the originals are a bit tight when fitting the straps on since there isn't that backside case notch. And with this new Khaki having fixed bars, the lugs being a little longer is understandable, but I hope it's less than 45mm. The other thing that I'm interested in is seeing the width of the winding crown. With the GGW and the DTU, they are 5 to 5.1mm, which looks appropriate and feels good in the hand. The Militado ML07 is also 5mm, and it feels and looks undersized for the larger 36mm case size. If it were proportional to the originals, this Khaki 250's crown would be around 5.3mm. I'm very curious what they did for this new Hamilton. All right, let's do this. Very nice packaging. I love this slim box. It's easier to store, cool info card with some background information on the original FAPD, as well as the standard instruction manual. And this nice leatherette and canvas case is actually usable as a nice traveling pouch. Okay, here it is. Beautiful watch. Nice protective case wrapper. As I've mentioned before, I don't care for NATO straps, so I'm going to take this one off. Before I do, let's try it out. You know, it's the most comfortable NATO strap I've ever had. The cotton material is soft and pliable. And I like how the strap isn't so long that I have to tuck in a lot of extra material underneath this keeper. Okay, while the strap is off, let's check out the dimensions. Compared to the Militado here, the dial size inside the crystal seems smaller. The case diameter is exactly 36 millimeters, just like the Militado. The crystal diameter, remember I predicted or hoped for about 31 millimeters? And yeah, here it is, 31.3. Very nice. But when comparing side to side with the Militado, the visible crystal diameter is definitely undersized. Yeah, it's due to all these concentric lines. Comparing the new Hamilton to the 1972 GGW, the apparent dial might actually be smaller than this 34 millimeter field watch. It's hard to measure since it's underneath the crystal. And as for the hands, yeah, the hour hand is a bit stubby, but it's not disproportionately so. It matches the smaller dial, and I do like those really pointed ends. I love the color of the lume and how it's perfectly matched between the dial markers and the hands. Let's look at the lug width or spacing. Right on the money at 18 millimeters. How about the lug to lug? I predicted 44 to 45 millimeters. I can see by the space between the case and the lug bar that it's going to be a long one. 46, yep, that's long all right. And measuring the thickness of the actual lugs, we have 1.5 millimeters. Interesting. Lug bars are commonly available at 1, 1.5, 1.8, and 2 millimeters, and they went with a relatively narrow choice. However, it does give you lots of choices for leather pass-through straps and other materials. Looking at the profiles, the differences are quite subtle. Most notable being the absence of lug holes on the Hamilton 250, since the lug bars are fixed or soldered. It will be interesting to learn which of the two 36 millimeter watches has more wrist presence. We have a bigger dial on the Militado, but we have longer lugs on the Hamilton 250. Let's check the case thickness. Compared to the Militado, which is 10.1 millimeters, and this is a quartz movement inside. For the new Hamilton, this is a very respectable 10.4 millimeters, keeping in mind that we have a manual movement, i.e. no rotor, but there is an anti-magnetic dust cover underneath the caseback. I would have opted to do without that. Nowadays, you can make the movement pretty anti-magnetic with the modern materials available, and it would have shaved off a few millimeters. But I get it, they wanted to keep it pretty true to the original, and I'm not going to take the case back off right now, but maybe in a future video. Looking at the weight, the Militado is 30.2 grams, with the Hamilton being 44 grams. Looking at the back, at first I thought I was actually getting number 1 out of 1776, and I was like super shocked. But then I learned that they all have that printed. And it's true that it's 1 out of 1776, but it's a little bit deceptive or misleading. But then again, it does keep the price down since they don't have to print a different number on each of the 1,776 casebacks. Of course, we have a screw caseback like the original FAPD, which differs from the solid caseback of the 34 millimeter military field watches. Okay, let's get a nice pass-through strap on there. I'm going to take advantage of that ample spacing between the bar and the case and use my G10 strap. Very nice. Next, let's compare the new Hamilton to the 1972 GGW113 and 1967 Benrus DTU. Having the two Hamiltons side by side, you can see that the dial design is identical. We've got those elongated oval style numbers. Also, notice how the triangular markers at the corners 3, 6, 9, and 12 are slightly narrower. We've got Swiss made at the bottom, and we've got the old style Hamilton logo at the top. And yeah, the dial does seem actually larger on the GGW due to the excess stuff between the edge of the dial and the outer edge on the crystal on the 250. Also, look how the hands compare. When comparing to the Benrus DTU from 1967, there are quite a few differences, and it seems like the Militado takes after the Benrus style more than it does the Hamilton. Look how the numbers and markers are very similar. Okay, what about the winding crown? I predicted a 5.3 millimeter diameter, and we have 5.4. Nice. When winding it, it's super smooth. Brings back memories of my previous 38 millimeter Hamilton Khaki. But the slightly smaller crown on the 34mm originals is actually easier to wind since the mid case is so slender, and I can get a better purchase and it just makes the crown grippier. But the Hamillton 250 still has a perfect size and it's proportional and it just looks right. Okay, how about the loom? Well, I would say that it performs about the same as the Militado. And I'm very happy to see that Hamillton decided not to loom the length of the seconds hand, but only the tip, as that makes reading the time in low light much easier since you are not distracted by that seconds hand. Excellent. I love some of the details of this new Hamillton that reminds me of the 38mm khaki that I enjoyed, such as the sign crown with that space age H, the ultra smooth hand winding of the modern mechanical movement. Not everybody wants or needs an automatic movement. And although I would have preferred the durability of a sapphire crystal, I understand Hamilton's desire to emulate the original with an acrylic crystal. Plus they got lots of flack for that very reflective sapphire that they used. I do like how it's a slim, low dome crystal, very nice. And the fact that they corrected the odd sub 17mm lug width of the original is a very good call. Actually, kind of necessary if you think about it. So yeah, I'm very impressed and super excited to give this 36mm Hamilton lots of wrist time. Let's keep in mind that this is a limited edition and Hamilton is testing the waters. I'm curious what they will end up settling on as their regular non-limited edition 36mm, assuming they even go there. It certainly wouldn't be wise for them to manufacture this new watch case just for this limited production run. Perhaps they will use this 36mm case and officially reissue the GGW 113. That would be interesting. Maybe it will be a regular production release with a sapphire crystal and removable spring bars. That would be something even better in my opinion. So we'll have to see. In the meantime, I'm going to adventure with this 36mm khaki, and I'll be very likely to do at least one follow-up video with more information and observations. So please subscribe and stick around. Thanks and have a great day. Bye-bye.